Hello and welcome back to day 42 of our Lenten Paeans. One more after this, and then we may get some outtakes along the way.
Where things went wrong?
No, nothing goes wrong.
Surely not.
So today we are going to look through Matthew 10, the first 20 verses. Just as a pointer to maybe what we should be looking at. So let's start reading. Then Jesus summoned his 12 disciples and gave them authority over unclean spirits, to cast them out, to cure every disease and sickness. These are the names of the 12 apostles. First Simon, also known as Peter, and his brother Andrew. James, son of Zebedee, and his brother John, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James, son of Alphaeus and Thaddeus, Simon the Canaanian, and Judas Iscariot, the one who betrayed him. These 12 Jesus sent out with the following instructions: Do not take a road leading to Gentiles, and do not enter a Samaritan town, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. As you go, proclaim the good news. The kingdom of heaven has come near. Cure the sick, raise the dead, cleanse those with a skin disease, cast out demons. You receive without payment, give without payment. Take no gold or silver or copper in your belts, no bag for your journey, or 2 tunics, or sandals, or a staff, for labourers deserve their food. Whatever town or village you enter, find out who in it is worthy, and stay there until you leave. As you enter the house, greet it. If the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to your words, shake off the dust from your feet as you leave that house or town. Truly, I tell you, it will be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah on the day of judgment than for that town. I am sending you out like sheep in the midst of wolves, so be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Beware of them, for they will hand you over to councils and flog you in their synagogues, and you will be dragged before governors and kings because of me, as a testimony to them and the Gentiles. When they hand you over, do not worry about how you are to speak or what you are to say, for what you are to say will be given to you at that time. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking through you. That's a bit of a daunting send-off, isn't it?
They weren't worried before they were sent out, they would be now.
Yes. I do like the way Jesus gives them so much authority. And he's doing that to us as well. But he's not telling us to go to the Jews, but rather to go where we are, to our communities. And these guys were all of Jewish heritage, so he wanted them to stick local. And that's one thing I find interesting, is that people are willing to go as missionaries to far-flung places, but few are willing to go as missionaries to their neighbourhood.
Yes.
And that's what we need more of.
Yes, yeah.
No, definitely.
Yeah, there's some really good instructions there, isn't it? You know, I really like the verse 6, go rather to the lost sheep of Israel.
Yeah.
It's very much about going to sort of seek out those who really need that connection with somebody.
Yeah.
To bring God to them, and then as he says, you know, to proclaim the message, the kingdom of heaven has come near. You know, go and heal.
Go to the lost sheep. Don't go to all the churchgoers. Go to the lost sheep.
Yes, yeah.
Encourage them. Yeah.
Yeah, because the people who come to church in the present, they know where to go when they need support.
Well, they should know.
Well, they hope they do. So it's about getting the sort of church going to the people, isn't it? And that's that whole message. It's not get people to come along to things going on in the synagogues and things. It's get out there and do it in the community where people are.
Yes.
I love the breadth of the apostles as well. You've got people from all walks of life, people who are relatable to certain people.
Yes.
So actually some people might relate better to Matthew than they would perhaps Peter.
Yeah.
He kind of covered all bases within his apostles.
Yes. Yes, they're quite a merry band, those 12 apostles, aren't they, of people from a wide...
and you don't often think of that. You think, oh, the person up there at the front of the church is... they've been born into that, they've been trained. No, it's a case of, if you listen to God, he'll show you where to go, and he'll give you the words, as it says.
Yeah. I think that the Church of England now especially is so much more broad, you know, with people that go into ministry, whereas years ago it was very sort of, you had to have gone to Cambridge and have a top thing, and, you know, there were sort of very specific criteria and things, whereas now they look for people who have had that calling, who have got different life experiences, and they can bring things to the communities in which they serve. And, you know, it's God that equips us to do those things, which is why he says, you know, you don't need to take all this stuff. You know, you don't need to take extra tunics, extra, money and things, because I'm going to be journeying with you. You're not on your own here.
It's more about what you can do in the community than about what you can do for the church.
I mean, they had to go out in some real faith. In that, you know, no money at all, no change of clothing or new sandals, which in the time of Jesus would have been really important. Those sandals. Yeah. You know, you don't know where you're going to be staying. You might be welcomed, you might not.
Yeah.
But to go out quite literally with what you're wearing, no food, in faith, must have been a huge undertaking and a real strength of faith.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, Jesus tells them, I'm sending you out like sheep among wolves. You know, he doesn't dress it up and say, oh, go on, you'll be all right. You know, he says, you know, this isn't going to be easy.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to take all this stuff, but...
Yeah, you'll be handed over to local authorities. You'll be flogged.
Yeah.
Do I really want to do this?
But, you know, then he turns around and says, for it will not be you speaking, but the Spirit of the Father speaking through you. You know?
I think that's the big thing is, if you're stepping out in faith and you're listening to God, he's going to give you the right place, the right time and the right words. Whereas if you try and do it off your own back, you're going to reach out to those who will want you flogged. Not literally nowadays.
No, thankfully not.
No, but I think it does resonate quite a lot with today's world as well, in that we carry so much baggage, not literal baggage in terms of clothes and money and such like, but we do carry an awful lot of baggage, and actually if we could release some of that from ourselves, how much more attuned would we be, how much more could we listen to what's being said to us through the scripture, through the Spirit.
And how fitting as we enter Holy Week, you know, and we encourage people to come, you know, and lay all the things on their heart at the foot of the cross and say, look, Jesus, I can't handle all this stuff. I need you to journey with me and help me with this.
And hopefully over Lenten, people have kind of stripped back,
Yes.
gone without something, or considered what they do and don't have, so that actually they come to Holy Week slightly laid bare.
Yes. Just willing to see what happens instead of bringing their own agenda.
Yeah. And I can really resonate with the don't worry about what you say or how you say it.
Yeah.
Because as a families minister, that is one of the things that you find really difficult, going, I don't know what to say actually.
Yes.
What if I get it wrong? But actually stepping out in faith that the Spirit will speak through you. And he does.
He does.
He really does.
Very much so. That's one thing I learned with youth ministry, is that you can make a plan, but you walk through that door and you open your mouth and your plan changes.
Oh yes.
There and then.
God's got a sense of humour.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Brilliant readings.
Starting to step out. So thank you, Charlotte. Thank you,
you.
Greg.
Pleasure.
And thank you all for joining us. And the next one we shall record on Tuesday evening, ready to be posted for Wednesday, Ash Wednesday.
No.
Not Ash Wednesday. That's gone past.
Yeah, it's been to the beginning of Lent. Don't take us back all the way to the beginning of Lent again. So yeah, Wednesday.
Yes.
We prepare for Maundy Thursday.
We do.
Yes. That'll be the last one before Monday, Thursday. So join us then, and we'll see you soon. God bless. We hope and pray these sessions will give you something positive to see and look forward to, something you may wish to share with others. Please do. You can see this series unfold on our YouTube channel at St. Felix, Rendlesham, and by visiting our church website, rendleshamchurch.org. Should you wish to contact us, please do so by email on info@rendleshamchurch.org. God bless, and we'll see you in the next video.